Alright guys, we're talking love life today, so here we are in my bedroom because where else would you talk about your love life? I'm guessing you're here because you really want sex and intimacy to be a priority in your marriage, but it just isn't right now. Either because you feel like crap about yourself, or you don't have the time, you're totally exhausted, or you just aren't being able to read your partner. So today I'm going to give you 10 tips. I tried number 7 this week, so I can testify for sure that that one works. But 10 tips to kind of spice up your love life after you have kids. Tip number 1 is kind of obvious maybe, but get a lock on your door. So maybe one of the reasons why you feel like you just can't really get in the mood, you can't relax, is because you never know who is gonna just come barging in your door at any minute. And I can totally relate because kids are just really unpredictable, and thankfully I don't have any carpet, so I can usually hear my 2-year-old coming, but sometimes that's just not the case and they really just sneak up on you. So think about investing in a lock. That way you can totally relax, not have to worry about who's gonna walk in on you, and feel like, okay, I can actually get into this. Number 2 is maybe do something kind of fun, like send a dirty text during the day, send something alluding to something you want to happen, or just let your partner know that, hey, I'm actually thinking about intimacy, so that it's on their radar too for the night. If they are interested, it'll help them know like, hey, oh my gosh, they're thinking about it too. So maybe put yourself out there a little bit and give that one a try. Number 3. This one is something I totally need to work on. Okay, instead of wearing your old t-shirts to bed, maybe think about wearing something just a little bit more, I don't know, let them know that you're in the mood. So I don't know how you guys like, what you like to wear to bed, but for me it's an old t-shirt. Actually, just one second, let me grab it. Okay, so not even kidding. This is a shirt, it's from like 6th grade camp, and it's really nice and soft because it's been washed about 2 billion times. When I wear this to bed, I think it's a pretty good signal that like, if something happens, it's a coincidence, not because I provoked it. If I wear something like this, it's just a simple t-shirt as well, but it's a v-neck, it's like a little bit newer, you know, paired with the right bottoms. It could be like, maybe I'm in the mood, you know? Suggest that something might happen tonight. But if I really want my partner to know that like I'm ready, I want to have intimacy with you tonight, I'll wear something like this. So maybe think about, oh wait, that wasn't TMI. Think about like kind of what are you putting on, what are you coming into the bedroom like, and maybe your partner could read those signals. If you have a male partner, then they are definitely visual people, so something that's going to show a little more skin is probably going to be a little more inviting or hard for them to turn down. So maybe just think about that when you are deciding what kind of pajamas to put on. And I know maybe I think about it more than my husband does, but definitely when I pick out what I'm going to wear for the night, I'm thinking like, oh, do I want to be like cute, or am I just like, I just want to be comfortable? So consider that when you are thinking about what you put on at night. Tip number 4 is go to bed a little bit early. Like if you get in bed at the end of the day, you're totally exhausted, it's past your bedtime, or you're thinking about setting your alarm and what time you have to be up the next day, it's really hard to get in the mood because you just feel like, oh, like I'm tired, I'm exhausted, and you have to choose between sleep and intimacy. If you get in bed just a little bit early, knowing that you want to have sex, it just makes space for that event to happen, and you don't have to choose between sleep and sex. You can actually have sex and go to sleep. So I'm not sure what this looks like for you at my house. My kids are still pretty young, but a 7:30 bedtime most of the nights, and so that gives me a lot of time to still get stuff done that I need to get done and get in bed at a decent time if I'm not scrolling my phone and wasting time looking at reels on Instagram, which I'm at mamasandmisses_PT if you want to find me and stalk me on social media. But yeah, sometimes I waste way too much time doing that. So maybe think about getting into bed just a little bit early. That might help make some space for sex in your love life again. The next 2 tips that I want to share with you have to do with your own self-confidence. And I definitely struggle with this more sometimes than other times, which I've actually been reading this really cool book. Let me grab it. Oh, maybe. Yep, here it is. This one, Do Less. And there's lots of books about it. This is just one. But it's basically about how sometimes at different parts of your cycle you actually like exude or feel glowing or not glowing. And so a lot of times around ovulation, we just have like this glowing look because we feel really self-confident. We feel attractive, and this actually works in our favor when we think about like that's the only time you can make babies, so it makes sense that you would look your most attractive at a time when you need your partner to be most attracted to you. One thing is to really lean into self-confidence, and I think something that can help with that is actually loving yourself and looking at yourself. So some of us aren't a big fan of mirrors. I don't know. I'm somewhere in the middle, I guess, on that. But I think it's important to look in the mirror and find 2 things today that you do like about yourself. Maybe you hate the way your hair looks, but you really like the way you did your makeup today. Or maybe you don't like the way your shirt feels, but your butt's looking really killer today. Look in the mirror, find those things, and say them out loud. Like, I really like my butt in these jeans. And just saying that out loud is gonna help you send a new message to your brain. Tell your brain that like, that self-talk that's always negative, like, oh, this doesn't look good, this isn't good enough, like, give it something good to think about. And I really think that's gonna help your self-confidence. And then after you do that, you're gonna move on to number 6, which is send your partner a seductive picture of yourself. You definitely need to have a decent amount of self-confidence to be able to do this activity, because you're really putting yourself out there, especially if it's not on Snapchat and gonna disappear in 10 seconds. But sometimes it can be kind of fun to just send a picture of yourself, whatever that looks like, whatever you find attractive about yourself and you know that your partner finds attractive. It doesn't have to be like a full naked shot or anything, but just something of you smiling and suggesting that maybe there's gonna be something fun happening later today. I just think that's like a fun, spicy, exciting thing you could add to your love life right now. And hopefully you have a code on your phone, and if your kids are old enough to get into your phone, just make sure that that's not going to be popping up when they grab dad's phone. As promised, number 7, I'm sharing something that I've actually tried. I am told over and over by my husband that men are visual people, and especially in the winter. I live here in Michigan and it is really, really cold in the winter, and sometimes I'm just all bundled up and I am not giving him any material that way. So try this. I definitely have tried this in the past. I'm trying it this week just to tell you that it did indeed work. But just walk around naked or in very minimal clothing. Just around your bedroom, doesn't have to be your whole house, but just around your bedroom when your partner is there. And see if that adds something. Like, just maybe seeing you is going to be like, oh wow, you know, like it's good to see skin. I don't know, my husband has a theory that people are more sexually active when it's nice and warm out. Haven't done the research on that, but it would be interesting to know, because definitely we wear less clothing when it's warm out. Something else that you could definitely try is if you're having a trouble like getting into the zone because you're thinking about so many other things, what about writing down those distracting thoughts? Whether it's your to-do list, what you need at the grocery store, whether it's you're really stressed about something at work, you need to just journal like your thoughts on it, like I'm feeling really sad, upset, I'm feeling really stressed, or whatever. Writing that down so that it's not wasting space in your brain, and when you do make space for intimacy in your relationship, you're fully there, you're mentally there. As a female, for sure, I can't speak for males, but I know I have a lot of random thoughts go through my head at the most inconvenient times, and I really have to focus on staying focused on intimacy. And so that could maybe really help you, is just to write those things down so that they're there. You know, you can go back to them. You don't have to hold on to them while you're trying to be intimate with your partner. 2 more things I want to share with you. Number 9 is get a babysitter, go to a hotel, because who doesn't love hotel sex, or just plan like a date night at home where the kids are at grandma's, Or just maybe you know the kids are going to go to bed early and plan that for 2 hours tonight we're not going to be on our phones, we're not going to be getting things done, we're not going to be watching TV, we're just going to do something we enjoy together that involves hopefully communicating and talking, maybe something fun. I don't know. There's lots of different ideas out there, and I'll leave that for the sex therapist specialty people to give you fun, creative ideas like that. But just like plan that time. You're gonna have a glass of wine, or you're gonna do whatever connects you as a couple, and you're gonna spend time on that. And I'm gonna admit that we barely ever get babysitters, and it's just because we're so cheap. But there's a lot to be said about being away from your kids or having time carved out just for the two of you. But it doesn't have to be expensive, and I know right now, like, it's COVID, so no one can really go anywhere anyways. But just spending that time together. Maybe it's eating after the kids go to bed, because let's be honest, eating with the kids is never a romantic or relaxing experience, but sharing some quality time together. And number 10, kind of related, but more focused on you specifically, spend 10 or 15 minutes on self-care for yourself before bed, or before, you know, intimacy, when, like, if it's planned or when it might happen. Maybe that's like taking an extra long shower, maybe that's shaving your legs, maybe it's lighting a candle and reading a book, having a glass of wine, painting your toenails, whatever self-care looks like for you. If you can go and get a pedicure or your hair done, that's awesome. But if it can't be that big or extravagant or specific, there's lots of things for self-care that can just take 10 or 15 minutes that you can do for yourself, and then you have self-confidence. Again, I think that is related to intimacy with your partner. The more confident you feel, you're willing to put yourself out there, you're willing to make the first move, you feel good about yourself, you're not like embarrassed or worried about the way your partner is seeing you, and that's going to come off as more attractive to your partner as well. So spend a few extra minutes on self-care and see if that helps you feel more in the mood. And I hope one of these 10 tips spark something in you that is going to make you want to like this video, because you want to say, hey, thanks for all those helpful tips. And if you have something you've tried, it would be so fun if you commented them below, because as moms, we always need more ideas, me personally too, about how to keep things like spicy and fun in the bedroom. So I would love to hear what you do to keep your love life spicy, or what you're going to try after you watch this video. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you guys all in my next video.